Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second day here of coverage at RGB LAN. I'm Mike Lowry, joined by Daniel, of course. Daniel, how are you enjoying RGB LAN here so far?
I got to say, this is my second RGB, and it's like a fine wine. Only better with age.
Oh, It gets better every time I come to this event.
Every time.
It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a lot of showcasing of our TF2 tournament. We'll have some more action of that later today as the group stage wrapped, and we'll have our playoffs this evening. For today, on our docket, we'll have Apex Legends later this afternoon. But first is a zany classic Overwatch 2 random teams coming up in just a little bit. While we wait for some of that to get ready, I'd like to take a moment to highlight some of the charities that we're supporting here at RGB LAN. Dan, would you like to tell us about some of these?
Yeah, I mean, just first of all, I know we're having a party here, everybody, but this is absolutely a charity event. And the same way that we have three colors, our RGB, we're representing three great causes this weekend. People have already raised a crazy amount of money. In fact, last night we learned that as an organization, we passed $25,000 total lifespan. That's just incredible. But let's talk about our different charities. Represented by the red team, we have Julia's Grace, inspired by a family who went through a very painful experience with their daughter passing away due to cancer. Julia's Grace helps families out of exactly that situation. It's a cause that really helps families in an impossible situation, and really proud that we can try to represent that this weekend. And we've represented in the past as well.
Yeah, one of the big things with going through cancer treatment, it's so easy just to focus on the patient and the cancer, and that's it. And you lose sight of everything around that.
Yeah.
Julia's Grace does a fantastic job of having those life experiences and having those moments to say, hey, you are more than just your diagnosis, and you are more than just your treatment.
Absolutely.
And it's great that we're able to support this charity again this year.
100%.
For the green team, we are representing collectively the Help Hope Live charity, whose core belief is that a medical crisis should not cause a financial burden. Help Hope Live provides funding for any and all in need of medical, regarding medical expenses, even those with insurance, because sometimes there can be gaps, and every little bit helps when you're having to make these tough decisions.
I mean, hell, man, I have some pretty damn good insurance, but I had a medical procedure last year. I'm still thinking about that. That's still over our heads.
Jeez.
And I'm well off. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people who are less lucky than I am. And having an organization here that helps those people out of a jam is just really important.
Absolutely.
And last but not least, represented by our blue team, personal favorite of mine, don't tell green team this, it's our Philly Tech system. Helping
It's a secret.
helping ladies of color out in the Philly area break into the tech field. It's so difficult to do that. The amount of degrees, the amount of certs that you need to get just to get a foot in the door, just to get an interview is insane. And Philly Tech Sisters helps you bridge that gap by funding training, by funding education for those ladies trying to break into the scene. We learned an interesting tidbit last night, Eric. Mike Lowry.
It all counts. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've been called worse.
I'm sure you have. I've called you worse. The revenue from last RGB LAN got 4 people fully trained and certified in Salesforce.
That's no small feat.
It's really not.
And that puts you leaps and bounds so much closer to getting interviews, getting those jobs, and getting us closer to having equity in the tech field and inclusivity as well, which is really important. When you have more people together sitting at the table, everyone can rise up and everyone can grow together. And it's great to be able to represent that charity along with all three of these charities here.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, I mean, so often these spaces are dominated by, I'm not going to get into demographics here, but having diversity of thought in the tech space is so important. You know, if you have 100 people who have the same background trying to make some sort of contribution, it just sticks there. That's all it's going to be. So by bringing in new voices, by bringing in new people, it's really important to establish a culture that looks out for all people, not just the people who happen to be your developers.
Absolutely. Sorry, we're looking on just a double checking here for some technical info here.
Yep.
Oh, that's correct.
Yes, sir. By the way, quick shout out to production. Doing an amazing job this weekend.
Yeah, we've had some fantastic support from our directors and observers here. Yetrium and Connie absolutely holding it down behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
I was able to share the desk here with Connie last night. That was a blast doing some TF2 commentating with her.
It's quite a session. Mm-hmm. And you guys see this little backdrop back here. It's like the Wizard of Oz. They are pulling the levers. They're making magic happen.
And sorry, just double checking something here.
Yep.
Yeah. So Overwatch 2 random teams.
Yes.
As a former champion of Overwatch 2 random teams, it can be a little bit overwhelming at first.
Yeah.
But some tips for anyone who might be competing here in the next few minutes. Biggest thing is being able to have flexibility and solid communication.
Right.
Yeah, being able to know when to make the swaps on your behalf is going to be huge. And that's going to be probably one of the more important things to watch here is seeing after a team fight, do you have people swapping? Do you have the right counterplay going on?
Yeah.
What would your thoughts be if going into this competition here?
I think that a lot of the skills in an FPS transfer just in Overwatch in general. But I think that you'll be able to identify the more experienced players by exactly what you were saying. I think the swaps are really pivotal. If you have somebody who comes in and they're really, really good at one tank, but that tank has a hard counter, and they don't play around it, they don't counter pick, it'll grind a game down.
Yeah.
It could be the key. So I think you'll see some high mobility here, and that's one of the beauties of games like Overwatch and TF2. You make those audible plays on the go to determine your team comp, and I think it'll be pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, it'll be it'll be zany. It'll be fun. It's perfect here for the environment that we have at RGB LAN. For those that were watching some of our stream last night for Midnight Madness, that's a wonderful peek in to some of the insanity that we have here here in the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, which cannot highly enough recommend. If you haven't made it down here in person, come down here, see it in person. You have to experience it. You have to be a part of it. Cannot highly enough recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you can come out this weekend, there's still time. You could walk around. Also, RetroCon.
Yeah, they got a packed house here. They have
Yeah,
RetroCon with all your old 80s games and such.
I had to park in Delaware this morning. Yeah.
I think I parked in the Delaware this morning.
Yeah.
A quick shout out as an aside here. Hi, Josh. Thanks for tuning in.
Josh, welcome.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have all kinds of craziness here in the Overwatch tournament. We're waiting for teams to get set. We should have, I believe, 3 separate teams that we'll have in a round-robin-esque format. Don't quote me on that. We're gonna double-check exactly how our tournament format is going to look.
Right.
We might just be hoping for 2 wins for one team, and that makes everyone's life a whole lot easier. But we shall see. There have been crazier things that have happened here, especially with random teams. You could get, like, coincidentally, like 3 people who are top 100 just so happen to be in this room and also be able to to get queued together. It's just how the cards get dealt sometimes.
Right, and I think that's important. A lot of times you have a tournament where somebody's like, we scrim on the weekends. We put in no less than 4 hours a week, making sure that we're at competitive levels. So if you have somebody like that come into a casual event and just stomp, that's not fun for anybody. But by this random, friends become rivals, rivals become reluctant allies, and chaos reigns. Always.
We're all about the chaos here for these kinds of tournaments. That's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it fun.
And it's a great excuse to then meet some more of the people here at the LAN from the time that I had competed. I made new friends from my random Overwatch team, and it's another great excuse to get up and meet all the people here, because in the certain environments, it can be just too easy just to focus on your game and that's it, and not get out and remember that this is a social event that, once again, You gotta be here to see it. You gotta be here to experience it. It's so special.
Yeah, there's a bit of a stark difference between coming out to a LAN party and just hanging out on Discord with people you already know.
Esports.
And yeah, I mean, we've already made some friends this weekend. I think we have a chess scrimmage later on.
Oh yes,
apparently.
That'll be. We'll have to keep your eyes peeled on our Discord. Information on that in the description of this stream. I don't believe we'll have that for our stream content, unfortunately. But we have a busy docket today, so you got to make some tough choices.
Next year.
We're waiting on some more information here from our tournament director to see what our teams are looking like here. I don't think I have them on Discord, unfortunately.
Sure.
But I'll do a quick reach out to production to see if we can get any more details on that. While we wait on that information, some of the, as we were mentioning with some of the other attendees that we've met here, there's something that we'll see on the crowd shots that happen between games. There's a certain green blob that you might see in the center of the floor here. Dan, would you be able to explain for our audience at home what exactly this work of art is that is right over there?
Are you talking about the monolith, the representation of a pride that is
Pride personified.
of our Neckbreaker Murder Squad?
Yes, for those that have not made the journey out, there's a dedicated group of gamers called the Neckbreaker Murder Squad who have a 6-foot-tall tower with an LED sign here.
Oh, I think we saw
that
it.
We're going to have
flash.
right there in the center. It's unfortunately there we go.
Perfect shot. Perfect shot.
That is the Neckbreaker Murder Squad with the 15-gallon hat as well. Absolutely crushing some. Are they doing Overwatch right now? I hope we can get some info on that.
We're waiting on one more team.
This is how we. This is how we're going to spectate today's matches.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking over the shoulders of the people in the Neckbreaker Murder Squad.
That's the true LAN experience right there.
Absolutely.
But that is quite the monument that they bring. They also have on the top, they have lasers shining on the ceiling, lights cascading across the walls. Last year they usually would bring a projector, and they would showcase local events and just all kinds of crazy crap.
Yeah, I heard at Midnight Madness last night that they're all octogenarians, apparently. So
apparently
they have a lot of time to build these things in their retirement. That's what I've heard.
Word on the street.
If you don't get that joke, then you need to sign in for Midnight Madness tonight, happening at midnight.
Mm-hmm. Easy to remember.
Yeah.
Thankfully, because by that point, I don't know if my brain's going to be functional from all these video games here.
It'll roughly be silly putty, pretty sure.
It's not too much different from how it is right now. But we have all kinds of very interesting, very exciting setups. All kinds of amazing cases. I know one of the cases that on that corner over there, they have the companion cube from Portal that someone recreated as a computer tower.
I've done a walk down of the. That's by far my favorite case.
Oh yeah, that's a great standout.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love to see the different builds that people have. The people have really interesting setups. I saw a guy who had like a laptop with like a mini screen between the screen and the down at the end.
I'll have to give that a look.
Yeah. Really interesting tech.
Well, maybe I'll take a step over there and look now here. We're still waiting on just a few more people for Overwatch, but once we get everything queued up and everything ready to go, we're going to jump right into the action. Dan and I are going to take a quick break. Stay hydrated out there. See you in a minute. Welcome back from our collective hydration break. Still Mike Lowry.
I'm still Daniel.
We are here.
Course.
Of course. We are here getting queued up and ready for Overwatch 2. Our first map is going to be on Oasis. And we have 2 teams already set. You want to showcase some of these teams here?
Sure. So I know that we have a lot of veterans from the Neckbreaker Murder Squad. We're seeing Bulldozers. We're seeing Golden Pity. You had something to say about Belladonna.
Yeah, Belladonna is one of the former staff members here at RGB who for a long time has been the point of contact, just the leader on that. She has done a fantastic job. And this is the first time at RGB that she's actually sitting down and playing video games.
What a concept.
At a LAN party.
What a concept.
Who knew that was possible?
Yeah.
And we'll get to see her her competitive debut here in Overwatch. But with her, she'll be joined by Goat Burgers, Midget, along with Bulldozer and Golden Pity that Daniel has, of course, mentioned just a moment
Absolutely.
ago.
And on our other team, we have SMG's Tuscan son, Burnt Corn Muffin, Andrew, and I'm not going to be biased at all, my wife, Pixel Online.
Oh.
I'm not going to show any bias.
No,
right?
no, certainly not. You don't want to show any bias to like one of the
Yeah, I don't
one of the
I don't want
standouts
to
here.
overcorrect either. If my wife gets shot, I don't want to be like, wow, great positioning. So we'll try to hold that back.
Just absolutely dunk on her gameplay live.
On the drive
Like,
of the
oh,
lane,
that was a great play there.
Yeah.
Way to go.
like we get home after the LAN, I'm like, I have some Twitch clips to review with you.
Like, we need to talk. So the matches here in the tournament will be a best of one. So winner take all. We have 4 teams now in this tournament, so we're going to showcase this match. I believe we're also going to have another match to showcase, and then we'll have our finals after that.
Yeah.
Oh, they might not have the random teams set up.
Oh, okay.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah, because it was looking a little stacked.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll see here. So
Sounds
we have an update then from production. We'll feature this match, and then we'll have the winner of our second match, which won't be featured on stream, facing off with the winner of this match for the finals.
right.
So as mentioned, we'll be on Oasis for our first map here of this group. Looks like a few details that are getting figured out here by the tournament director and by the players in the tournament as well. Should be getting things kicked off here soon. I know as we have a moment to reflect here,
Yeah.
sure some Overwatch players might recognize a few of these symbols that don't really mean anything anymore.
Is that an artifact from another age?
From times past, long time ago. It's crazy to think this is from 7 years ago that they
Yeah.
debuted. And then they
Yeah.
just
I see it on the sleeve here. It's the inaugural season, 2017-2018.
oh fancy that
Oh.
you saw that. That is
what a piece of history you're
oh wow
Yeah.
that is something else. It's
And surely, since it only was established 7 years ago, it must still be going strong.
you'd think so.
You'd think.
They still have World Cup, I believe, but
Sure. Yeah.
I thought it was exciting that they did have a franchise model for esports, and I
Right.
think could have really gone places, but
I think it's really interesting, but I think it's really difficult for developers and publishers to sort of manage that kind of organization and still have it feel authentic.
yes.
You know, it's so easy to show up to a LAN and have a tournament in a game that hasn't been updated in 5 years, right? Or, you know, that developers have seemingly stopped developing for. Because you'll still find passionate people out there. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, Big Daddy Blizzard's got to think about all the overhead of running the league across different cities.
Stock must go up.
If it doesn't support the stonks, as our capitalism bot would tell us this weekend, it's not acceptable. It looks like we are loading to our first match. It looks like we're going to be on Eichenwald.
We're changing it up.
Changing away from Oasis.
And teams are getting set here.
Teams
Heroes are getting picked.
set up.
And we have 20 seconds until we start. So this will be, as mentioned, on Eichenwald. Excited to see what kind of heroes get picked here. I guess what is it? Just open, or do they not?
It sounds like the teams are not necessarily forced to pick your standard rotation of
All
2-2-1,
right.
but it seems like they're going to do a gentleman's agreement and
think
just
that's
go
fair.
with a basic loadout here.
So defense getting set up now for Team Goat Burgers in blue and Team Burnt Corn Muffin in red. I see Pixel holding it down on Mercy. We'll have Mercy and Moira as supports going in. The combination of Reinhardt and a Reaper there will certainly be keeping the fight a whole lot close while Ash gets any of those far away picks.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a Reinhardt mirror match for these teams right now. So I think we're going to have these sort of stalls out as they hold up their shield until one of them decides to commit, and then things are going to pop off. So expect a lot of flankers trying to get around that barricade as we look into this first encounter, trying to push on to point A.
And the first team fight is underway here.
They've already pushed past the choke. I feel like it's a good point. I mean, everybody tries to hold that overpass.
Got the first pick here as...
A little stuck here, though.
Oh, Burnt Corn Muffin's down.
As does Mercy on Pixel Online. That's another kill for the blue team. I think we're going to have to reset here.
That's a fantastic team fight there for Team Goat Burgers. Excellent defense. They allowed them to go into that side hut, but keeping them in there really worked out for them.
I think this Moira's got to be careful. I mean, I think if Blue wises up, she's going to be an easy pick. But it looks like the rest of the team is filing back in now. I guess they're just trying to build some ult charge while things are a little bit calm. Yeah,
Goat Burgers will have ult going into this next team fight. No one else is quite close enough to join in on that, so he'll probably keep that in his back pocket for right now.
First ult of the game is ready on the Reinhardt on the blue team. Any large push coming in here onto the point is going to get shut down. They can land a good ult there.
Boy, Andrew with some great sniping, great dynamite work there as Ash. And Tuscan bringing the fight close. Excellent work there as Reaper. First ult comes in, but doesn't quite get anything from it.
Land.
Oh. Second ult coming in now from SMGs. Andrew getting great 2K there.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is going to be a lot of momentum. They're pushing back. Ryan's at full, but he feels the heat. He's got to retreat here.
It's 5-on-3 on that defense if Burnt Corn Muffin and the boys
Bob
can push
is on
in.
point.
And there's Bob, 6v5 on this team fight. They should be able to take this.
Oh, Reinhardt pins the Bob. A lot of pressure on point now. They're almost to a third. Every third locks in progress here. So if they can just get a fraction more on point, even if they fall off, they got the lock in, but I think they're just going to hold it here.
Pixel with a huge res there on the Reaper. And
absolutely.
And just wipes the floor with the rest of the team there. Bulldozer on an unfortunate stagger.
Yeah.
But holding them off just a little bit longer, a few extra seconds off the clock, and first point goes to Team Burnt Corn Muffin. The payload is now moving.
I feel like losing a death on a stagger here isn't as punishing. The payload has to roll up to this gate. Gate has to open, has to pass through the gate. So I don't feel like the death of the Moira late there will really be a factor. I think they can reset pretty cleanly here, especially with the Reinhardt just saying no to any damage coming in.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best times to really take the stagger and try to just get those few extra seconds because they could come in handy here.
Oh, Reaper going for the high flank here with ult on deck in the back lines. Ooh, that's a double.
Two of them, both healers down.
Reinhardt has to charge just to get away. Reaper is on the warpath though. Looking for 3. I guess a little lost by the mobility there.
Gets it thanks to SMG's help.
Double kill from the Moira as well.
Goat Burgers will be by themselves and gets a huge stagger against them. This will let the payload just cruise forward.
I can't imagine them stopping it before they get to the next checkpoint. That was an intense push.
Yes, that was. That was
a great flank.
Excellent work there by Tuscan to get the 2K ult. God, they'll have 2 ults on each side going into this next push.
Going up high again. Looking for more play. No ult on deck this time.
Golden Pity will have his ult, and SMG's pops their ult.
Oh, the Reinhardt blocks another Rein ult, and the tank is dead again.
Goat Burgers just not getting it going there with that ult. It's just 0 for 2, unfortunately, but third time might be the charm.
God, and these staggers are so painful, especially on a payload map where you can measure your progress in meters.
That's huge, and they are cruising now going into this last push. Golden Pity will still have ult along with Bulldozer, so they'll have 2 ults to 1 here for Burnt Corn Muffin as Mercy will be ready to ult in this next team push.
Absolutely. Now there are ults on deck for our blue team here. Soldier 76 and Moira both have it ready to go, but
Oh, man.
What a shot by the Ashe. Headshot in the air. We have 2 dead on the defending team again. The Reaper's in the back line. But the 76 ult is enough to snuff him out.
Great work by Golden Pity and Goat Burgers to...
Oh, the Mercy coming in for the res in the back line. Reaper's back in.
Another res on the Reaper, extending the team fight,
And
really
that's it.
pushing
I think
forward.
that's it.
That'll be it.
Oh, crushing. What a dominant display.
With over 5 minutes on the clock. My goodness.
My gosh. Wait, we're doing the run back here, right?
I believe so.
Competitive rules. So I think
Good warm-up, guys.
I think this was a good warm-up. Let's check this play of the game.
This is great here, this play of the game. I want to see this.
Moira is such a dynamic healer, putting out so much damage and healing with that ult that sometimes you just need to press Q and click on heads.
That's all you got to do. Easiest game in the world.
So I think we're going to have to go ahead and do the run back here with opposite teams up. And I think that's what we're getting right here.
Okay.
NA
production.
Aside from their first hold, that was
They
so
were
much momentum.
moving.
I think those painful staggered deaths were really harmful.
Yeah, that turned out to be huge. And getting the work on by Reaper to both really punish on the back line and getting Mercy to come back and res twice on those pushes. That huge extension that gives you pretty much another person. It makes it a 6-on-5. That's a fantastic work.
In both cases, the team fight stayed directly on Reaper's body. So when the res came up, it wasn't like, oh, I'm back in and then I can reposition. No, Reaper was up and instantly a threat.
Yeah, he's already in exactly the spot he needs to be.
Absolutely.
So it worked out excellently.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. So this seems like we're keeping a pretty similar team comp here. Both teams seem to be in their comfort zone. It looks like Andrew has swapped out the Ashe for Mei. Otherwise, our now defending team is almost exactly the same.
Well, Mei on defense here, going up against Bastion for team Goat Burgers there on offense.
Now, back in my day, Bastion was a defensive hero, but with his reworks in the last few years,
huge change.
Yeah.
Shots coming forward. Our first team fight is underway. The two Reinhardts just give each other a nice little wave. Nice how do you do.
Right.
Oh, and Mei getting the isolation on Reinhardt. That's huge.
And that's a pick. Oh, the Bastion's down too. I think Red has to fall back here.
Great work on that isolation there. Gets 2 kills on that first team fight.
And I think that's exactly.
Time.
I think that's exactly why they picked Mei. I think that they just had a lot of game knowledge here that this choke point is so deadly.
Yeah, it is so hard to punish Mei on this point here because of that exact spot.
Exactly. So if you're the red team here, what are you thinking about that? You have a Mei. She just closes off the choke. I think you need to get people that have some aerial presence or the ability to get over the wall instead of having to go under it.
It's challenging. Actually, no. With going up against Reaper and Mei, you have...
And there it is again.
Oh, man. But there's a response by Goat Burgers, knocks out the Mei. The push is starting to come in now. 5v4 here. The Goat Burgers team, oh no, with the res again. Mercy goes down, so 5v4 with Mei still up. They might still be able to make this work even with one healer. If Mei is able to get another ice wall in.
2 kills.
But it won't be enough.
Oh, it's slaughter.
Red team able to push forward. They should be able to get point now.
Trying to get the... Okay, Mercy does fall off here. Moira. If I were this Moira, I don't think I'd push onto this point at all. I think I would just try to regroup with the team.
Oh, no.
Moira kind of out of position here.
She's way out of position. Somehow
escapes.
That was a...
I feel like there was an Ocean 11 plot.
Yeah, really.
For that escape plan. Oh my god, and the pick!
Pick by SMGs, but Midget playing too aggressively.
They're playing so aggressive. They're trying to make stuff work before they even get through the wall.
Ult's coming through here.
Mercy down again, no res on deck. Reaper's still putting in work. And the res onto the tank, but I don't know how this team fight's gonna go.
Oh, it's insanity. Ults are popping left and right. 2v3 here on the cart.
The defending team here has decided this far and no further, trying to hold the next choke.
They might be able to get it here. They are holding this cart firmly in place.
The only painful thing for the defending team here is your respawn point. Any deaths are really punishing at this point. You have to basically dig a... Oh, and the 3-man shatter!
There it is!
finally hit that ult we've been looking for all match, and that's a triple kill on the Rhine. But the Reaper putting in work with the triple kill as well.
Oh!
what a
Coatburgers
recovery.
with incredible work there as Reinhardt. My
Oh.
goodness.
And we have the Mei just being a nuisance. Just being a thorn in the paw of the attacking team
Just
here.
being a May player.
But hide and seek, that's a game that has an expiration date. That gets taken down.
A good effort to try to wait for the team to come in, but it wasn't quite enough. So that'll be a pretty big stagger as they swap off of May onto Soldier.
Absolutely.
So we'll have Soldier v Soldier here for DPS.
Oh, big charge by the Reinhardt. Really deep. In the middle of the defending team. Hits another shatter.
Coatburgers figuring out how that ult works now and making the most of it. Getting more and more frags this game here. Absolutely killing it. Goatburgers, go off, man.
God, I love the Reinhardt skins that have the axe, though. Oh, so pretty.
That is, wow, that is gorgeous.
Oh.
They are responding. They are doing fantastically here.
Goatburgers is on a rampage.
Man on a mission.
Well, that's the meta in Overwatch, too. Your tanks really decide your pacing. So if you have somebody really step up and take control of the game, that can be the difference maker.
Yeah, Goatburgers is saying, this is my match here. Ult coming through here from Golden
Oh.
Pity. We'll see what happens, but Tuscan on the back line again.
He is such a menace this entire match. Now, Andrew did go down, but res by Mercy. It's back to a 5v5. God, Tuscan
wow.
so aggressive. Probably gets taken down by the Moira ult.
That was clutch because I thought that was going to go down.
What a slam!
Slamming the other Reinhardt. Huge play. Goatburgers trying to swat the Mercy out of the air. Almost gets it. Gets the other healer isolated.
Oh, Olay!
We're going to have one ult each side going into this final little push here.
Two-person shatter with the
Gets
pin.
it.
Boink.
SMGs with ult in their pocket. Tuscan will have an ult as Reaper here in a moment here, so they're going to have two ults to one going in here. If Midget can stay alive, they should have ult going, but they are
it's
not
taken
going
down.
to be.
Die. Oh, the Reaper ults have been so clutch this match.
Been huge. Doing a really good job of finding those tight spaces and making the most of it.
My gosh.
4.5 minutes to go here on the push, so
We've seen a slight mix-up in the team composition. We talk about that in pregame. Andrew, who was on May, switched to Soldier. Pixel, who was on Mercy, switched to Lucio. I find you often switch to these faster supports when it's in a scramble situation. When they're approaching your last point, you need to get on point as quickly as possible. Being the lady who needs somebody to tether to just to move isn't great.
Yeah,
oh, Reaper gets found out by the Bastion, but at this range.
Reinhardt fight. Who's going to win
Corn
this?
Muffin coming through, but Tuscan with another double kill on the backline. He won the 1v1 versus Bastion and took down the Mercy as well.
And here's the spot where they say no further.
No further.
Wow.
I felt like there was so much momentum coming through. I thought, hey, maybe this is just going to be an attacker's game, right? But really impressive hold onto this last point.
Defenders will have ult advantage 2-1 here on this next team fight. Actually, the attackers might have 3 ults by the time the team fight starts to get underway here.
Soldier, very careful, because with that Reinhardt shield, your ult basically gets turned off if it's up. So you need to be able to find an angle where you can hit their softer targets.
As long as Reinhardt's shield is up, then he's got to just be patient.
Tank is down on the defending team. The Reinhardt 1v1 didn't go their way that time. Reinhardt with the ult up, but he's just going to left click.
Oh, just puts Tuscan firmly in the dirt along with Andrew.
Who needs an ult for a triple kill?
And the cart is now moving again. We
I
got
think SMG's just got a double kill with melees on Moira.
Oh,
the
great
whip
block.
ult.
great block.
But there's a shatter return here.
He's going to wait for just the right time. That's probably the right play there with Lucio's ult coming out.
Another Reaper ult coming out. The shatter, that's a
Oh,
juicy.
great defensive work there from Team Burnt Corn.
Another staggered death.
With both healers, that's huge. It's going to lose like 30 seconds on this. They're going to have 2 more team fights, and that's it.
Overwatch is kind of counterintuitive when it comes to these team fights. Sometimes it's better to just dive in and die with your team. You know, FPS has taught us like, my KD, but sometimes it's more important that you all have a shared respawn, just for momentum.
That's really, really important, especially for the support players, because without you, they really can't move forward.
Looking for the shatter, but the Reinhardt shield shuts it down. As soon as that shield comes down, I think we'll see the shatter. And there it is! Hits
Great
two.
hit.
Oh, picks off a Lucio support instantly. There's no better opportunity than this. Oh, the Soldier ult behind, picking off the Moira.
Soldier goes down.
Oh, Burt Cornmuffin with the double kill on Flame Strikes.
Burnt Cornwall from the 2K there goes down by Goatburgers.
Tuscan.
Oh!
Continuing a menace, but the pin.
Goatburgers
today.
cleans up, but blue team will have the time to reset and get a few
gonna
more
run down
people and a huge stagger. Oh no!
I want to say there's some good discipline from the defending team here. I think if they had flushed out of the castle and tried to push for more, I feel like they would have gotten caught, and their advantage would have been neutralized here.
Absolutely.
It's so painful in Overwatch to lose a tank or a healer to a staggered death timer like that.
That just really takes the wind out of your sails.
I mean, you've seen it this entire game. It's been a game of Reinhardt's.
It
Their
has.
shields up the entire time. It's been totally neutralizing what would be a regular push. And I think that's why you've seen Tuscan having such a good game. The flankers are so important to that mainline tank attack style.
1 minute left here on this last push. We'll see if they can make it work. Tuscan says
Oh
no,
my
get down with the 2K. Let's see if he has room for more. Shots coming through. Is the Reinhardt going to go down? The shield comes up, and Reaper says, get down. 3K on that team fight. Is the Mercy going down too? They just wave them away. 30 seconds to go. That might be all she wrote here for this match.
We have ult almost on deck for the Moira. That'll be ready for the next team fight. Burt Cornmuffin, a couple more left clicks. He'll be ready to ult as well.
It's going to be, yeah, you'll have SMGs. Andrew might be able to come through with one on defense.
It's 15 seconds left. They have to count the payload right now.
They have to. They got to get on. Moira starting to make some space, but both Moira ults come out. You got to get on that cart.
They're having a DBZ beam struggle out here. Tank is down.
Oh, Reinhardt gets isolated and knocked down.
And without the Reinhardt, 76 is able to push them back. And that was a clean defense.
Wow. Excellent defense there in the castle. That locks up the win for them.
Beautiful match.
Team Burnt Corn Muffin.
I'm addicted to plays of the game. So let's see what this is. Oh,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Goatburger's still showing up. I think I know. This is probably inside the castle, right? Oh, no, beforehand.
Yeah, this was a huge, I think he got a team wipe pretty much. I don't know if they'll show the entire one, but this
He was involved
huge.
in 4 kills, and then the next minute and a half, he chased a Mei around a cart.
Yeah, that was a fantastic first round. So Team Burnt Corn Muffin is going to be going on to the finals. We'll get some information on our second team that will be joining them in the finals in just a few moments. Daniel, of course, any notes for these teams here from that first match?
We were talking about it in the pregame. We were talked about how, especially in Overwatch, counter picks are so important. When you play a double Reinhardt game, you are dedicating yourself to the front line. So I think that's why Tuscan's son, I mean, obviously, brilliant player, brilliant plays out there. But just on paper, having a Reaper that is able to say, I don't care about your front line. I'm going to teleport behind you. I'm going to ghost form behind you. I'm going to ult on your back line. And suddenly you have a Rein with nobody behind him because Tuscan has come in. And at that point, it's a paper tiger, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have, in my shoes, I probably would have tried to use a more airborne character to get a second line of attack to go beyond that shield. But Reaper just makes that second line of attack and just does a perfect flank and is able to draw away fire from the front, is able to distract the tank, is able to make the supports panic a little bit and miss some of their heals. And like you said, it all just falls apart from that.
Yeah, and I think I can ult an interesting case study because on that first point, having that aerial advantage as the attackers is pretty important, right? We saw it with the Mei denies early on. A lot of the early momentum, the first few team fights were decided by just, sorry, Ryan's on this side of the wall. Come back later.
Yeah, that was huge defensive work there by Mei, really isolating the tank and just sucking away the time as much as possible.
Well, like we were saying, swaps are very important. After that, Gambit ran out, after they stalled on the cart in front of the castle gates, switched off of Mei, I believe, the Soldier for those sort of more, more claustrophobic fights, right? Where like a given ice wall it's kind of hard to say, like, this is the choke point, right? It's just one big hallway to the end there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be waiting for our next team to wrap up. I'm going to quick ping production here and see if we have any information on that second match or if we'll go to a short break here. But as we have our winning team comprised of SMG's Tuscan Sun, Burnt Corn Muffin, Andrew, and Pixel Online. We'll give you the scoop on who they're going to be facing in the grand finals in just a moment. Stick around.
Welcome back, everybody, to RGB LAN. We are here with the finals for Overwatch 2. Just a few minutes ago, we saw the wrap-up of our first match, our first highlighted match. In the background, another match was being played, and that other team, victorious from their previous round, now the grudge match in the finals. So we're already familiar with our red team here. Larry, you want to tell us a little bit about our new challengers?
Certainly. So the challengers coming up in the grand finals here is comprised of Bronze, Mouse, Mango, Magic Carpet, and Uniguff.
So,
Quite the setup with these two teams here.
So a little bit of background flavor. I happen to know Pixel Online and Mango personally. They're both amazing people. I'm a little biased. They play Overwatch on the daily
They grind it.
for like 2 or 3 hours a night.
But
the thing
you
is,
kind of got to respect the hustle that they
They
do.
always play together, though.
Yeah.
Never seen them face off before.
So now
So this is the grudge match.
This is absolutely the grudge match. So Mango and Pixel Online will be two people to watch on both sides here. Most likely both supports on both sides here.
Sure, yeah.
So they might not have too many head-to-head opportunities, but certainly something to keep an eye on here.
I think Mango is kind of comfortable playing a lot of roles, though. I mean, you see in her, you can see in her icon on the screen right now. She does have a diva icon, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a solid tank on Team 1.
Maybe.
She might come through.
Maybe. As we get ready here, we're looking at swapping over to Busan for this grand finals map.
Beautiful.
I'll wait for confirmation that I believe this is a best of one for the grand finals here.
Yes.
We are, in fact, so once again, just like the previous round, winner take all. It all comes down to this map.
Yeah, that's the thing about RGB LAN. We move quick, all right? No second chances. You gotta fire on all cylinders right out the gate.
Well, we got all the esports, so we got to keep things moving here.
Did you say esports?
I did, in fact, say esports.
Esports.
Very important, and cannot, once again, if you know, you know. If you don't, get here.
Come on down.
Get to here. Greater Philly Expo Center in scenic Oaks, Pennsylvania.
I was gonna say scenic. I was gonna add it on if you didn't.
What's even better, too, we have overcast and a little bit of rain here today, so like perfect LAN
inside weather. Yeah.
Perfect inside weather.
Somebody opens the door for half a second, you get a spill in of pale sunlight and some cold breeze. It's like, inside is the place to be.
Oh,
I nailed it.
Exactly.
What a great decision to be here at the LAN party.
Yeah, a really good job by the staff to pick the weather for this weekend here to make it just even better for a LAN experience.
Yeah, shout out to all the weathermancers that have made this event possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're switching maps. It looks like we're getting things figured out here.
Yep, just like last time, a little bit of a last-second scramble on the map. We were reporting Busan previously. We might be on Illinois. Let's see what the teams decide on.
Ilios it is. Here we go.
Ilios.
Illy, not going to work here much more. Ilios. Nailing it. Thank you from our amazing production staff here. Yttrium doing amazing, not just with the observation, but with knowing how to pronounce the names of these maps. Maybe I should play this game again a little bit more frequently.
So in comparison to our last match, which is a payload into, sort of a checkpoint into a payload map, these are entirely control point based. If you're a fan of Team Fortress 2, you might have run into a map like this of a central payload. Not a 5-point, but a 1-point. Our first map here on Lighthouse, on this sort of king of the hill, and we'll see how this goes. One single point, both teams fighting for control. Larry, you want to talk about our team comps here at all?
Sure. So over on red, we have on supports. They're still getting things figured out here. Juno and Moira. So we have Farah in the air, Tuscan on the ground. It'll be a really good combination with getting a fight coming from all angles here. And on blue team here, it's going to be pretty concentrated, it looks like.
Yep.
Everyone focusing around Zarya.
You're right, though. Mango is on support. But we're going to have the support grudge match here. Mango versus Pixel.
First team fight taken away from the point. Everyone just looking for those early picks instead of focusing on the hill.
I think this Reaper skin was sponsored by Razer Black Widow.
I believe so.
Really representing the G in RGB out here.
And
kills.
Reaper takes down a Reaper with bronze, knocking down Tuscan's Sun. What a pick. That opens up the hill, and blue team is counting down on the timer now.
Right. We were talking about it last match. I think it's going to be really important with this King of the Hill style match here. Staggered deaths are going to be really painful.
An aggressive play here by Bronze, keeping the fight inside these narrow corridors, which is excellent play for them.
Right.
Andrew was looking to try to keep the fight at a different angle and make it a lot harder for Bronze, but that angle opens up now, and Reinhardt moving forward with their team here.
I think that
waiting a little bit longer on this fight.
I think that when it comes to actually trying to defend and retake the control point, I think Reaper's a natural choice, but in sharp contrast to the last game, blue team not with that mainline tank. You know, you have Zarya able to get on pretty easily. Oh, Bronze with the kill into the ult.
Big 3K there. Wow.
This has been dominant by blue team. That's a team kill.
That's got to be play of the game right there by Bronze. A 4K to hold off red team from even looking at the hill. Kind of surprising on that last team fight. Red team's really playing passively, really playing wide of the hill. They probably could have a better chance focusing more on the hill instead of taking this wide angle here.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit before today, but on a Reinhardt team comp, you really need Reinhardt to lead the way. And I think there's some trepidation from Burt Cornmuffin here, sort of getting on the point. Really solid displays by our blue team.
Ooh,
oh,
man.
and that's another 3-kill.
They're going to need to change something up here fast. There might be just enough time going into this last team fight here.
We have some people talking in chat. Apparently the mouse has made Halloween come early for the red team.
I don't think they're going to have time to touch it. So first point is going to go to blue team here, which is comprised of, or Team Uniguff, I should say.
Team Uniguff, right. In Overwatch 2, we only have one tank per team, so with randos, they don't really have time to put some branding together, produce some merch, right? So we'll just go based on the tanks here.
So it's a best of 3 here going into this second round on this map with some wonderful sculptures to play around here. They remade the Colossus of Rhodes. It's amazing. Hopefully it stays up this time.
Fingers crossed.
Not too many changes here in team comp. Andrew swapping from Pharah to Widowmaker. That'll be an exciting one to watch. That's going to be a hard counter against Mouse here. That could really, really help them out.
And there's long sight lines all the way down to spawn. If Pharah tries to do an early pop out, Widow could pop you 2 seconds out of spawn.
Yeah,
you can just get popped immediately. So
click on your head and say, get the heck down. I'm not dealing with you.
Let's see if Andrew on the Widow has the ability to slow down the momentum coming into the second round.
Oh, almost there by Andrew. Trying to make some magic happen.
Oh, Mouse is the pick on Tuscan, but the instant res. But Mouse is putting in work. Right place, right time with this Pharah.
Mouse and Magic Carpet just cleaning up 4 kills there on that team fight. And no one yet has touched the hill. There we go.
As long as we're in Greece, we can talk about how we're oracles. And we talked about how the vertical factor against Reinhardt is really important. Pharah coming in, totally neutralizing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's interesting. Tuscan switched off of Reaper to Soldier. I feel like for these big point takes, you're in a pit on the point, right? I feel like a Death Blossom could really put in work, but you have to take the point first. You have to get there first, right?
That's true. Oh, big sleep. But that is not much done against that, and Bronze gets to live to fight another day. I think the swap over to Soldier is really going to, they're trying to do more of longer range team fights here.
A reaction to Pharah, you think?
Yeah, most likely, but they have to have the aggression. They have to push forward and use those angles that they have. But
Bear with
Mouse
the ult setting up, trying to get a juicy target here. And there she goes.
1, 2. Sticking with 2. 3, 4.
And that's another team kill.
Jeez. And it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming for the blue team here, just cruising here, going up to 60% before this next team fight. We might have room for 2 more, but this might be the last team fight here for red team. So they got to make some magic happen with no ults. One person down already.
Already to pick onto the Sombra. Oh, but the Death Blossom behind.
Huge Death Blossom.
Only Pixel left, and that's not going to last long. That's the 3rd team kill of this map. I think that's it. I think you would need to roll out with Lucio, get there as quickly as possible.
All you got to do is hold W and just hope for the best here. You got to do something.
Not many ults to speak of on the offense either.
Sombra might be able to touch point in time, but it is going to be just so close.
94, 95.
Oh, contention on the point now.
Points on the board.
Sombra's there. Not anymore. Moira doing their best. Can't make it happen. Overtime dwindling down. And that wraps up Grand Finals. Your winners. Uniguff, Bronze, Mouse, Magic Carpet, and Mango.
Dominant display.
Absolutely. Bronze, no surprise here with their play of the game. Absolutely dominant as Reaper.
You called it out at the time. What a dynamite play.
Yeah, that was just amazing.
5 kills, and he had a hand in all of them.
Whew. There it is.
There we go.
Some wonderful esports.
You know, I'm not even, I fell off the Overwatch train a while ago, but God, watching this match makes me want to know.
Might have to get another ticket.
Yeah. I have to clone myself so I can also play as I cast.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Just commentate your gameplay. Just make yourself feel even better.
Unless I do badly, then I'll just neg myself. What was he thinking?
It's like, what was that play? I'll be doing that pretty much the whole time I would play.
Right.
Man, what incredible stuff. We'll see if we have an opportunity to showcase some of these amazing people here that had won their tournament.
That'd be great.
We are going to take a moment to walk the floor, reach out to some of these wonderful people, introduce you to who we can here, and until then, we'll be right back. Rehydrate out there. It's a lot of esports. You got to stay hydrated. See you soon. Welcome back here to our post-game coverage of the Overwatch 2 tournament here at RGB LAN. I'm Mike Lowry.
I'm Daniel.
We are joined here, of course, and we are joined by 2 of our champion team members. Would you please introduce yourselves here for our amazing crowd?
I'm Bronze.
I'm Magic Carpet.
Yeah, fantastic work. Congratulations again to winning the championship there. So with, there we go. Looking great. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your experiences here in Overwatch. Like I'm sure, I don't know if this was like one of the main events that you wanted to focus on for this, or if this was something that you decided to pick up for the weekend here, or what are your guys' experience here with Overwatch 2?
So, yeah, I guess I can just say for both of us, this is actually my wife, gamer wife. So
There you go.
thank you. So yeah, we both play a lot of Overwatch. Probably me more so. I one-trick Reaper, so just casually. So yeah, this is one of the tournaments that we came for, and yeah, happy to be able to win it.
Yeah, I used to coach collegiate, and I was kind of bad at it.
Well, you certainly play quite well, so it all works out in the end. And being a one-trick, if that trick works, keep on doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to represent the scout in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scout TF2, man.
Yeah. No, I feel like that first map, it was a Reaper v Reaper battle, and it was just a stomp. I mean, I really feel like you got under their backlines really strong there. So what do you think were the keys to your success here? Like, what do you think were the deciding factors? Because that looked pretty dominant from where we were sitting.
Yeah, I think it ended up working out in our favor, especially since I had the Reaper mirror, and actually they had a fair mirror too. But
Right.
I guess we just were able to split their attention enough that I was able to get into the flank eventually and pick up some kills, as well as Mouse being able to just damage from the sky. And we also had amazing heals as well, so
Yeah.
to keep this sustained.
Yeah, support work was doing quite well there all match. Going into Elios, a lot of the earlier play was really far off from the hill. It was more focused on the hut that's pretty much across the walkway from there. Was that a focus just based on team comp, or is that just where you felt more comfortable in that situation?
I think we were just like positioning where we were comfortable. I know for the most part we were watching out for SMGs. We were kind of like, because we know that he's a good hit scan, so we were like, do we keep the Pharmercy or do we roll something else initially? But it turned out ending up in our favor regardless. So.
Absolutely.
Any attendees or any friends that you guys would like to give a quick shout out to here?
Yeah, definitely. Mouse is actually one of my other friends that was on my team, and also Messiah, who came here all the way from Washington. So.
Oh wow!
Shout out Messiah, old school TF2 player as well. So. Yep.
Shout out to Pixel Online because we actually have the same alma mater, which is the University of Akron. So
Yeah.
either way, UA was gonna win this LAN.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're a husband-wife duo. Pixel Online, actually my wife. So you guys stomped on my wife on live stream. And I want you guys to know that.
Sorry about that.
But hey, as long as the alma mater wins, we're all
Yeah.
good.
Either way,
Yeah.
whether Pixel wins or I win, UA wins, I guess.
Fantastic.
Any other events you guys are looking forward to here for the LAN weekend?
I'm going to be doing the Quake Live free-for-all. See how that goes.
I might see you in that myself.
Okay.
I'll probably learn a thing or two from watching your gameplay.
I might do the Halo one if it hasn't started yet, but I think I might just game one with whatever.
Fantastic.
Any parting thoughts here, Dan?
I mean, I was just impressed by the show there. That was such a dominant performance, and I think you two really, in a large way, led your team to victory there. So, GG's as always.
Yeah. GG's.
Congratulations once again. This has been our coverage of Overwatch 2 with our production staff of Yetrium and Connie. I'm Mike Lowry.
My name is Daniel, of course.
And this has been our coverage here at RGB LAN. In about 2 hours, we'll jump into our coverage of Apex Legends Battle Royale Trios. You don't want to miss out on that. See you then.